Good morning, everyone. Hope you had a great weekend. It was pretty quiet here in Wichita. Didn't really cool off all that much. We're still seasonal. The trees are really holding their leaves, so probably not at least 3 more weekends to clean up. Hopefully your leaves are down and bagged or burned and out of the way if they allow burning anymore anywhere. I don't know. If they do, they sure don't here. Tomorrow's election day, it's a national election. The Republicans are forecast to win the Senate. I don't think that will change anything when you get right down to it. Nobody's going to take on Obama if you're Caucasian, because you're accused of being a racist by everybody, and if you're black, you're an Uncle Tom. So there are just hundreds of rules and regulations that are going to have serious impact on the way people do business today. Everything from energy to work, place conditions, etc. And they're being held off until after the election. And then they're going to be put through by regulatory action by the various bureaucracies that control everything. So healthcare cost, energy cost, all sorts of stuff are really, really going to take a big jump upward after this election through the bureaucracy and through executive orders from the White House. And you'd think that the judiciary and the Congress would, the Senate would stand up for their rights, but they don't. And right now, back in the old days or in dictatorships, thugs would come to your house and beat you up and rough you up or eliminate you, and now you get ruined in the paper and the press. You have your reputation smeared, or you're visited by the IRS or OSHA or somebody else if you come out against it. So my guess is it's going to be business as usual. I would expect the stock market to rally, like Jeff said. How long it lasts after that, it would be hard to say. We'll have to see what happens. But my guess is just going to be markets on hold until the election results are in. Overnight, Japan's stock market was up just, I think, almost 5%. Hong Kong, China's was up. Hong Kong, the EU, and Great Britain's markets were down. We were off about $1.25 from Friday after Friday's strong rally in the month. So my guess is the stock market's probably going to move sideways too, which should hold us in a trend. So right now we're at 14.5. I see resistance at 16 to 20. We've got the top of value at 18.5. We've got a low volume number at 16. We've got a high of 20 right here. Then the last rotate up on Friday in the overnight session when it spilled. The spill was from 18.5. So there's a lot of stuff that comes in like 18.5 all the way up to 23.5. So I said we're going to sell 17s to 21s. It may take a 15 to get in, but I think we can do a little better. And then 23 to 27 for sell 2. On the buy side, 5s to 9s. And then 1 to 29. Okay, today's news. We got markets, PMI, 56. The ISM index has come in higher than forecast, especially right in front of elections. They're not fools after they saw what happened to the chairman of the S&P 500. So both these numbers are basically at 56 even. Construction spending plus 0.6. And then the big number will be auto sales. And they've really been cranking along very, very well. This number, if it comes in, I think last month was 16.9, 16.6 million. I mean, that's huge. And I don't know if your city's like mine, but these dealerships are making so much money that they're all building brand new facilities, big ones, some of them buying new properties and moving to a more desirable location, and they're not sparing the bucks on the fit and finish in these new buildings. So number one focus will be ISM. Number two focus will be autos. Auto sales aren't out until noon Eastern. They'll all be out. So we'll see what happens. Might take a 15 to get off a short, but I think we can do a little better. Would like to get it done in that 19 to 23 area if possible. Basically see a trading range because of the elections. In normal times, the ISM number would really move the markets, but I think we'll get a reaction, but I don't think that because of the elections tomorrow that much will happen. Famous last words, right? You know, it's Monday morning, and Mondays are just, you know, everybody kind of comes in and which way is it going to go, and everybody's waiting to see which way the high-frequency trading programs are going to break. And there's the news over the weekend and everybody else's markets, economic news is usually limited. Overnight, Great Britain beat their PMI numbers. Italy didn't. Spain beat theirs. The dollar was way up, and the yen and the euro are both down. The yen is understandable. There was no news article associated directly with the selling in the euro, but we know which way the euro is headed. Okay, 17 to 21, sell 1, sell 2, 27 to the buck. On the buy side, we've got this volume down here. We have the overnight session low at 01, so 1 to 5, buy 1. And then 25 to 29. And I really just do see a trading range today, no matter what the news is because of the elections. It goes up off of its lows. Come on, go pop up here. There you go. We had a 60-62 buy, our number one buy. We had a 75 plus or minus sell. We haven't gotten there. So we have a P in the overnight session. We've got this, the highs on Friday were 74. That's we'll put a 74, 75 sell. I think we can go a little higher, get some stops above the overnight session high. And then we'll make 79 to 81 for sell 2. Trying to catch the 50% range of these single prints right here. On the buy side, last rotate down was 65. We're at 70. I'm going to play for 65, 63 for buy 1. And then 58 to 60, let them get stops beneath the market. Might be cute. Might take a 65 to get in. 67 maybe up here, but I think gold is still headed lower, again, for all the reasons that I restate ad nauseum. And there's that old saying out there, gold ain't like a cheeseburger, you can't eat it. Or whatever you like to eat. Don't want to discriminate against any of the various foods out there. Don't want to get the label being a food Nazi, if you know what I mean. Destroy what little reputation I have. Oh, Charlie, you know he's a food Nazi. My problem is probably, like everybody else's, I like pretty much anything that's put in front of me. Have no problems eating. Okay, the euro, I'm not surprised. The press was surprised that it was down 24.50, one of those round numbers. I mean, I like orders against the buck. I mean, that gave you a nice little bounce. Orders against 24.50 is giving you a nice little bounce. So where's the clean break structurally? We got 25.50 right up in this area, and we've got this area up here at 26.30. So this is where the structural resistance does lie. So 15s, say 10s to 20s, fairly aggressive. Then 40 to 50 for sell 2. I mean, that's where resistance is. On the buy side in Japan, the last rotate down was 70. So we'll keep it at 50 to 60 for buy 1. And if we break that, 20 to 30, playing against a quarter. I don't like the long side of the market. I like to sell it, as you well know. And I just don't see any reason to go against the wishes of the European Central Bank. Okay, crude dances to the beat of its own drummer. Sometimes it trades fundamentals, sometimes it doesn't. Quite often a bullish EIA inventory report will bring in selling, and a bearish one will bring in buying. It's just hard to say. It's an exchange-controlled commodity. Now, when we come up here and we take a look at this, you can see this 81.75 is pretty good resistance. And we have the overnight session high at 81, and we're currently at 86. So I'm going to play for stops or retest of Friday's overnight high. So we'll make 81, 81 and a quarter, sell 1. And then 50 to 75, sell 2. Looks like it should trade a little higher this morning. If we can't get through 81, we definitely want to get short. London's low was at 80. We're going to give it like a dollars trading range right here. Buy 1, 80, 80 and a quarter. Then buy 2, 79.50 to 75. Give it a little bit of room. Didn't see that anything has changed in the Middle East over the weekend. Lots of articles out about how incoherent and how ineffective the United States campaign against ISIS is and how they're gaining strength. The only way ISIS is going to be stopped is if these people wake up and understand that they're going to lose their heads and everything else that they've had unless they're appointed by ISIS as rulers, as part of the new tribe to govern whatever their area is. But the, we had, what, 10 plus years to rebuild the Iraqi army, and they fold. And they said it'll take a year to get the Iraqi forces up to speed. What's missing is leadership and the knowledge. And what makes the Anglo's armies so effective is the leadership from the sergeants down. And they're still effective when they get down to only a couple of people left. What makes most armies pretty ineffective is the lack of leadership when you get to it, and top down. And these people know how to die. They're very, very brave that way. They do not lack courage, but they're damned if they do and damned if they don't. The enemy's going to kill them if they don't do exactly as commanded by their superiors. They're going to be shot by them in the back, of course. So this lack of leadership ultimately is what determines the outcome and why they fold so quickly. I'm guessing because of the elections, especially if the Republicans take control of the Senate, there'll be the hope that there's a chance that these new rules and regulations will be at least slowed down. But we're going to have every judge because it only takes a majority of 51 in the Senate now, passed that can be passed, and they won't be judges, that they'll be activist judges. And then you got everything that they can pass before the end of the year, which they probably can't because they won't have the Republican House to go with them. But regulatory-wise, you're going to get it done. So my guess is the elections will take the stock market higher, and like Jeff says, it may last till noon on Wednesday. Hard to say because I really don't see that anything has changed. We got a B shape overnight. We're rejecting prices above 15. So we're going to make 14, 16, sell 1. And then 19 to 21, sell 2. Hard to see us making new highs without some good help from the news this morning. We have some news that could push things up, but the biggest piece of news economically will come on vehicle sales. Our first buy is in the 5 to 7 area. Like on Friday, I like this 2000, 2002. Better. So if we have a 15 to 17 high, then that should give us 5 plus or minus. And they do make us pay up to get in early. If the overnight session high holds in this 12 area, that could take us down to 2000, 2002. So I basically see a 10-point trading range today, unless the news is well away from the consensus estimate. So ISM, they tend to put out the most favorable numbers, and their tendency is to beat. Anything on ISM tends to come in higher than whatever the estimate is. Construction spending, nobody will pay any attention to it. And then auto sales, which comes out at noon, a little late. It's 16.6. That's a huge number. So this will be the first, and that'll be the second news focus. So trading range, sellers 15 to 20, buyers 2000 even to 2005. Any questions?